Hello and welcome in to another review. Today I'm going to review Esham's third album, Kill the Fetus, originally released in 1993. Last album I reviewed was Judgment Day Volume 2 Night. And not a lot of time has passed onto his next album. The only thing he did in between projects was the first Natus album, Life After Death, which I've already reviewed. And with that album, Life After Death, he kind of started honing in on making like a grimier, kind of darker sound, if it sort of went throughout the album. And he was getting better at sort of creating an atmosphere if it sort of fit throughout throughout that album. And with Kill the Fetus, he goes on, he basically doubles down on that, and he makes an album that's incredibly claustrophobic, harrowing, just dark sounding throughout, and I think it's a real milestone as far as like Esham's production stuff so far. Even though it's similar to like all his other work and that it's heavily sampled and so on, there's just a lot more. I don't know. It's just a much more effective, and just the overall sort of incredibly unsettling atmosphere that goes throughout this entire album is just it's something to be experienced. I don't know many other albums that sound quite like this. So this album serves a special. I have a special affinity to this album because it was the first Esham album I've ever heard. And the song that's playing now, Helter Skelter, the last song on the album, was actually the first Esham song I ever heard in 2011. So yeah, so this album is kind of special for that reason. And so I'll show off the front cover. Very controversial, as you can see. I saw that Golden Age hiphop.com, I think it is, they did like a list of top 10, or not even, maybe it wasn't even top 10, I think it was just 10 controversial album covers, and of course this one wasn't on it, which is just ridiculous. This is the 2015 remaster. You can still get it from Esham's website, acidrap.com. There's not much different with this, as far as like packaging and all that goes, as far as I can tell. I don't own the original, but like obviously the way it says remastered there, it wouldn't say out on the original. I think on the original it said the album, which is a bit weird because there's not like Kill the Fetus the single, or Kill the Fetus the movie, or Kill the Fetus the video game, so that's a bit strange. The back is pretty much the same. You've just got that really great picture of Esham there, and like sort of cracked window pane effect. It's pretty cool. And you've got the track list in here. And we've just got some basic credits. All songs written, composed, programmed, produced, performed, and engineered by Esham Smith. And executive producer James Smith, his brother. And when you open it up, I believe this is the same as the original as well. That picture on the left of the fetus with the penis. I think that's the same. I think when they reissued it in 2000, I think they actually cropped it so that it didn't show that, which is kind of funny. But and that the disc looks pretty much the same. Obviously, again, it wouldn't say remastered in the original, but I'm pretty sure that disc is the same. And you've got like all the little sperm cells on the disc there. I actually never noticed that until there now. There you go. And there's nothing. That's just a little slip that doesn't fold open, which I like, instead of the Judgment Day albums that lead me to believe that there's something in there and there's not. So very grisly album cover, like I said, very controversial, but in a way completely suits this album, completely suits what this album sounds like. It is an unflinching, just, I can't, words are, you have to listen to it, you know what I mean? Completely captivating throughout. Let's just say, the atmosphere, and obviously all the topics that he goes through, a lot of which he's kind of mentioned at some point before, either on Booming Words from Hell or Judgment Day, but like, just the production here makes everything sound so much more savage and just horrible than it did before, which is great. This is one of his best albums. It's not quite his best, but it's certainly up there as being one of his best. This is a very long album. It has 23 tracks. It actually has 25 songs because some of the tracks have 2 songs on them. So I believe it's 25 songs, 23 tracks, and it's a very long album. It's about 73 minutes long. But yeah, even though it's really long, each of the songs are quite short, and it has a really good pace to it. So yeah, it's actually not the hardest listen in the world, at least for me. It might be just in terms of content, for some people, but like as far as getting through the album, I think it actually goes by fairly quickly, which is something I couldn't really say for the Life After Death and Alice album. I thought that kind of dragged on. I'm just gonna go through each of the tracks. This might take a while. I'm not sure because there's so many songs. But track one, "What Is Evil," which is playing right now. It's just an intro song. It doesn't have like any rapping or anything on it, but I really like the dark, sinister beat, and he uses lots of different like samples from either like news reports or documentaries, talking about the nature of evil and why people do evil things, and like why do we have people like Hitler and Charles Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer, just the overall, why does this happen? Is it a spiritual thing? Is it just the way they are? Is it, I don't know. And very, very, very good way of starting the album. Perfectly paints what this album's going to be about, really, which most of it is evil. So yeah, very, very good, very strong. Track 2, "Symptoms of Insanity," that uses a Alice in Chains sample to very good effect. And yeah, just as the track sort of implies by the name, it's just basically a song about Esham losing his mind. And yeah, he's just going crazy in that track. And yeah, just right away, the production's dark, it's moody, kind of lumbers along, but it's just perfect for the song. Track 3, "Running From Me," it's a pretty short song. It's about a minute and a half long, maybe it's a little bit longer. It's just like basically one verse, and then there's some like samples at the start and at the end. Very good song. I really like the beat. The sort of bum 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 bum. I think that, I don't know for sure, but that might be an Alice in Chains inspired bass line at least, because it sounds very similar to the song "Angry Chair" by Alice in Chains, but I don't think it's a sample. I think he got that from somewhere else. It just sounds very similar to that song, and yeah, that's just him going nuts again. And yeah, very good song, "Running For Me." I actually wouldn't have minded if that song was a bit longer because I like the beat so much, but yeah, there we are. Track 4, "Voices in My Head." It actually uses a, yeah, I'll say it's on Wikipedia. It actually uses a Red Hot Chili Pepper sample, which doesn't, you'd think that wouldn't really work, but it does. Like even the songs that sound, that they might be a little bit happy or a little bit, a little bit more cheerful. I don't know how he does it, but everything on this album sounds so grungy and nasty. I think a large part of it is because Esham's an underground artist, and his early albums were kind of very shoddily put together, but I think that's a part of the charm and the part of the sound. I'm not making excuses, I believe that to be true. So yeah, "Voices in My Head," again, it's kind of picking up with a similar theme here. It's talking about, voices in my head, and just going crazy, He didn't know at the time, but later on, James Smith, his brother, was diagnosed with schizophrenia. So yeah, I think James Smith had a lot of influence on Esham's lyrics, and in a later interview, he said that basically a lot of these songs weren't really about me; they were about my brother. So I thought that was quite interesting. Track 5, "No Singing" / "Misery." So that's like 2 songs in one, but the 2 are like interconnected. They actually relate to each other. The first part, "No Singing," that's just talking about he doesn't want people to sing at his funeral. He doesn't want people to be sad at his funeral. And there's a funny line where he says, when I'm dead, put me face down in my coffin so the world can kiss my black ass. I thought that was quite funny. And the second part, "Misery," is actually he wakes up at his own funeral, and there's a beat change and everything, and it's very cool. I like that a lot. Track 6, "Jackie." It's a pretty explicit sex song. It's okay. Again, if you're gonna do a sex song, I don't mind if it's really over the top, but as long as it's not too much, like throughout the album. But yeah, I don't mind Jackie on its own. I think that's fine. It's very memorable. Track 7, Game of Death, that features TNT and Mastermind from Nadas, and basically it's kind of just your straight up horrorcore song, talking about killing people and stuff. But they use like game show samples and stuff like that from like American game shows. So yeah, they kind of make it seem like it's like this weird, Running Man style game show where people are getting killed, sort of thing. And yeah, it's a very good song. Track 8, Headache slash Wet Daydreamer. Again, that's two songs in one. The first song, Headache, is a bit of a headache. It's like a really sort of disorientating beat. And yeah, that's only like a minute long. And then Daydreamer is like another sex song, but a pretty good beat to it. And yeah, again, not that long. It's like a minute and a half long. Track 9, Hot Booty, again another sex song, but I really like the beat. It's like a real sleazy kind of beat. It reminds me of the song from the Nadas album, Life After Death. I spent my last on a hoe, and I like that song a lot too. So, track 10, I Thought You Knew. That's the song playing now, and yeah, I like that a lot. It's about different things. One of them is just about like the content of his music. One of them was about just screwing someone he knows woman, and yeah, he just tackles some different concepts in that song. Just a good sort of smooth beat, like kind of relaxed, one of the more sort of chill songs on the album. But between the lyrics and just the production values, like every song on this album has kind of like a dark tinge to it. Track 11, If This Ain't Hell, that's him sort of talking about Detroit again, sort of like growing up in Detroit and sort of liking it the hell. He's kind of done that before, but yeah, it's a very good song. Very sort of hellish atmosphere on that track. Track 12, My Understanding Is Zero. Very short song, but I do like it a lot. Yeah, not much to say. Just a good short song. Track 13, Perpetration. I don't like that song that much. It's okay, but it's not really one of my favorites. Track 14, Freak Nasty. This is the one song on the album that I don't really like. I could have done without it. It's just kind of an annoying sort of sex song, and he doesn't even rap on it. He puts on like this annoying voice that just kind of annoys me. I don't know. I don't really like that song. Track 15, Headhunter, which features Mastermind from Nadas. Yeah, not much to say. Just a really hard-hitting beat, and yeah, they just both go in on that track, and yeah, a lot of killing and murder goes on in that track for sure. Track 16, the title track, Kill the Fetus, which is the song playing now. Incredible song, awesome song. Both lyrically, musically, everything. I love the way he performs it. Like in a very, I don't know, it's just very in your face, but kind of, I don't know, he just sounds very evil on it, And what he's saying, it's kind of conscious song. What he's talking about is the nature of abortion, and he's actually all for it. He's saying why should you let a drug-ridden mother raise a child, because she's addicted to drugs. She's never going to look after that child the way she should, and you're better off just killing the fetus while you can, basically. And another part of it is, the world's so fucked up that it's not really worth letting a child grow up in this crazy world, So, yeah, very dark song. Obviously, a lot of people are going to disagree with what he's saying, but I just love the way that song sounds. It's so dark, the sort of creepy sort of that you hear in the background there, and the in the background. It's so good. Yeah, great song. I think that's one of his best of all time. Track 17, Don't Blame Me. Again, another very good song, very fast paced and very sort of rock orientated. And yeah, just a very good song. Don't Blame Me, the devil made me do it. Very good. Track 11, You Still Hoeing. It's alright. It's okay. It's one of the lesser songs on the album. Not bad, but yeah, it's just kind of a lesser track. Um, Track 19, Sunshine, brilliant song again. Again, one of my favorites Esham songs of all time. I love the sample, the Roy Ayers sample, and yeah, basically it sticks pretty close to that, but he puts like a booming sort of bass line in the background, and yeah, it's just really good song. And during the course of that song, he actually gets killed and stuff like that. It's really cool, and yeah, it's one of those songs. It sounds like it might be like a good sort of song to listen to like in the daytime when you're chilling out or whatever, but again the lyrics are disturbing. Like, it's deceptively dark, that song, let's just say. Track 20, My Mind's Blowing Up, again, not really. He's kind of, some of the subject matter is a little bit repetitive on this track, but I think he mixes it up from track to track enough that it remains interesting. He's just talking about, yeah, him going crazy again and stuff like that. Good song though, My Mind's Blowing Up. Track 21, Get On Down. Again, it's kind of a lesser song for me. Track 22 though, 666. Oh, it's crazy sounding. That is a crazy beat right there. I've never heard a rap song sound quite like that before. I don't know what he did to make that beat. It sounds like he got like a guitar riff and completely mucked it up in like a really amazing way. And yeah, that's just a crazy track, 666. It just really in your face, really brutal, really abrasive, and I like it a lot. Yeah. Then track 23, Helter Skelter. I've talked about it before because it was on the Helter Skelter EP in the EP collection review. But yeah, the first Esham song I heard, one of my favorites of all time. I love the body count sample, and I love yeah, I think it's a brilliant song. It has a music video. Go check that out. And Sunshine was actually a single, but it doesn't have a music video, unfortunately. Apparently, it got a little bit of radio play at the time, but yeah. So yeah, Helter Skelter. That's just a brilliant song as well, and a really good way to end off the album. Yeah, Kill the Fetus, a brilliant album. Even though like not every individual part of it is amazing, it's one of those albums when you listen to the whole thing. It's just a really memorable experience. I don't think there's anything else I've heard that's quite like this album. I like all the wider range of topics that he talks about here. Again, a lot of it he has kind of covered before in earlier stuff, but just the production makes all of that stuff sort of match up better. You know what I mean? With like Booming Words in Hell and Judgment Day, he was just kind of smashing samples together, and it didn't quite meld together quite as well. But here he's got like a really strong atmosphere going throughout. But it's just claustrophobic and horrible. But and I mean that in the best way possible. This is a really great album. It's one of the best that he's ever done. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it.